I actually have a really unpopular belief that the COVID virus does not exist and that it is a cover up for electromagnetic frequency poisoning that's happening.
Whoa.
All
All right,
right,
let's
time to
hear it.
let's elaborate.
Time to shift gears, ladies
Let's
and
get into this,
gentlemen.
and also if you have anything for your screen share that would help with this, the floor is yours, man. We're all ears.
Oh, so this one is sort of one of my less scientific approaches, but it is sort of one of those things where, like, if we look in the last 100 years at like the increase in, what they consider like respiratory diseases and different viruses and things like that, that it coincides a lot with like where there are outbreaks where they had launched some sort of like radio frequency system, things like Havana syndrome, and then with COVID specifically, there is 5G symptoms that have actually been shown to be the exact same overlapping symptoms as what the COVID virus was. And as you guys know, like as we were locked down and stuff, they were building 5G.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that all of it is, hey, keep believing in this virus thing so that we can keep building cell towers and spy satellites and AI data centers and stuff, and you'll keep blaming the wrong thing. And they need you to do that because they're building $100 trillion surveillance system, and they need that EMF. They need the radio waves. They need the towers and stuff. And I think it's
Remember they were paying people to like call and like report, and it was like a big like a tracking system. Like they were just hiring civilians just to like track where the COVID outbreaks are happening.
Oh
and-
my God!
Yeah.
All right. Well, full disclosure. Full disclosure. My
got
wife
paid.
My wife actually did that. My wife was that was my wife's job for a good almost 2 years. The surveillance wasn't as deep as the media will tell you. It was. It seemed like more so just a. I don't know what was done with these databases. Obviously, that's for pure speculation purposes. And if anybody wants to talk about that after I say this, but like her thing was she would ask the people who they've been directly in contact with, and she would just let those people know that, hey, you may potentially have been exposed. I mean, it seemed really wholesome on the surface, but
Sure.
in my head, I feel like they probably built a pretty massive database of information that who knows what the hell they did with it, whose hands it got in, who it
DNA,
was
dude.
sold
When
to.
how about when they were sticking sticks up our nose?
Mm-hmm.
It happened to me once. It was horrible and bullshit.
I'm embarrassed to say I did it one time myself.
Yeah, I did too, man. I had to travel. I had no choice.
And so with the like the contact tracing stuff that was going on, there was actually a company called Kronos Inc. That was sort of responsible for receiving all of that. So if you ended up coming into contact with COVID, that would be submitted to a database. That database would then use like an API, which is essentially like a telephone to talk to another database, and see everyone that you've come into contact with via Bluetooth. So they would use your Bluetooth proximity from your smartphone, and if you had COVID, then they were using that as a justification to say, okay, well then we need to log everyone that you've been in,
Wow.
close proximity with via Bluetooth,
Oh, God.
and we also need to put them in this database and stuff. And it was really just
That's
a
nuts.
giant, it was a giant social tracking.
I can confirm. I can confirm for sure that they didn't use that Kronos method in New York State, which you would think would be the first state to do something like that. Just from seeing what I saw, I can confirm they didn't do that here, unless there were other people that were involved that were doing that aspect of it that just weren't involved with the operations that I know of.
Oh
but
yeah, Kronos was
nevertheless, it's still a little too far, even without Kronos. When you look back on it, it's and we all say this all the time, and I'll just reiterate it again for everybody who's watching. Never forget what they did to us. Are you freaking kidding me? Never forget what they did to us. What a terrible time, and what a terrible time it's led to. And that's why I'm glad people like you are here to tell us all these interesting theories. Now back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy too because like the contact tracing stuff was largely like a joint operation between like Hellman and Friedman and CIG.